ここで何があった。何もなかった。
And what's up, guys? It's Noah here from the Digibros, and today's I'm going to be showcasing off our first place Store Championship Zoro deck list that I took to our Store Championship today. Went 4-0 with good old Zoro, winning the absolutely gorgeous Luffy to add to our trophy card collection. Super excited about having this Luffy, but yeah, it was a ton of fun. Red best deck, baby. You already know this, so we're just going to be showcasing off, Zoro. Zoro's fairly standard. Like this list is pretty standard, not gonna lie, nothing too crazy about it. Zoro, Donix win all your characters game plus 1000, so just make a bunch of your small guys slightly bigger, just start swinging into your opponent. A really good leader. I was debating between playing Zoro and Whitebeard, and I absolutely love Whitebeard. Honestly, probably favorite deck that's ever came out in this game this far. I just felt like Zoro had bad matchups, TBH. There's a decent amount of yellow at the Store Championship, and which I actually didn't play against any of it, mostly red. Who saw that could be red bistic, baby, so yeah. Starting off, we do got 4 copies of Izo. Izo is absolutely crazy this format, like every red deck's playing this. On play you get a correct top 5 search for a Whitebeard card, and Whitebeard cards are pretty good, who knew, so it's just like the Nami searcher, but it's just for Whitebeard. So following that up, we do have 4 copies of Buggy. Buggy is crazy, dude. You get the correct top 5 search for an event. Buggy doesn't have counter power, kind of sucks just a little bit in Buggy, but Buggy does have this really cool effect where he cannot be KO'd by slash attribute cards, including leaders. So that actually came up against this Kinemon player that I was playing against, and how the only non-slash attribute character they had attacked, and then they were later trying to attack over my Buggy, but it couldn't be KO'd by any of their characters or the leader. It's Kinemon, and the remaining other characters they did have were all slash. So just being able to go search out your event cards, your Fire Fist, which is like the same card in this format that can also be grabbed off of Izo, and your other radical beams, your guard point stuff. 4 copies of Gordon. Gordon's, once again, no counter power, kind of sucks when you get him off of life. But Gordon's really cool. There have been several times throughout the day where I'd have like a Dawn under Zoro and would buff Gordon up to 3k, and I could use Gordon to attack over like opponents' Buggies, opponents' Izos, stuff like that, and then you could then use his effects and bomb the deck, and then you can either attack over one of their bigger things or hit it with like a Fire Fist or a Marco. So Gordon's solid all around. It's just not having counter power. Him and Buggy, so that's like 8 of the first 12 cards I showed you just don't have counter power. That's a bit iffy. Makino, it's good, fairly standard. Makino coming up to buff Buggy, and having a Dawn and Zoro makes it 7, which is pretty good, I heard. So Makino is mostly used for the 2k counter, but you can also buff up your other guys. And then Otama, our last 1-drop, searchable off Curly Dodon, same with all these, which we're going to get Curly Dodon momentarily. But similar thing with the Gordon, but you can get it on the on-play to reduce something, and then either your Marcos or Fire Fist will be able to snipe some things that are slightly larger. Also 2k, I'm telling them the best cards in the game. Speaking of Curly Dodon, got 4 copies of her. On play, get the correct top 4. Search for a red character that costs 1, so this big old stack. It really hurts when you whiff off her, which I don't understand how, because there's just so many. But it happened to me a couple times today. Also, Curly Dodon and Buggy both have 3k base power, so if you commit 1 Dawn onto Zoro, they just need 1 more to be 5k swingers and to leads, unless it's Whitebeard and they need 2, but we're not trying to swing into Whitebeard with Curly Dodon. So moving on, this is going to be like the Whitebeard stuff, that's all searchable off the Izo. I got 4 copies of Jozu, just another 2k counter that is searchable. I don't know, there were several times whenever I play like Izo trying to like go dig for a Marco blocker, so I'd leave 4 Dawn up, and then I would not find it. I'd grab a Jozu instead, and it's like, well, I could have committed this Dawn to swinging because I really wanted to play that blocker, but then now you just got a Jozu in hand, who I'd rather keep in hand as a 2K counter than to commit to the board. But speaking of Marco, I got 4 copies of blocker Marco. Once again, easily one of the best cards in the game. The reason why Red's just doing so phenomenal is between this and the new Marco I was at 5, just because they're just so sticky. It's hard to just clear them because they do come back. Yeah, Marco blocker, real good. Yeah, that's great. So I am playing the Teach. So I've seen lists are either playing Teach or they're playing Ninebeard, and don't get me wrong, like Ninebeard is just a really good, solid card. And Teach here doesn't have any counter power, which it's like half the cards in this deck I swear don't have any counter power. But he's one that costs relatively cheap for you to play, and he can gain you draw power, which you would think with all the search cards within the deck, you wouldn't have a problem with cards. But there are a couple times where I just found myself with like 2Ks and like event cards, and I didn't have enough like bodies on board. Where he's at 6K base and 1 under Zoro, put him up 7. If you use his own effect, he can go up to 8. So, I did mention earlier that both Curly Dawn and the Buggy, if you have the Dawn under Zoro, he will make these 4. So they are options that you can hit off of Teach when you do attack. And so he's also base 6 and using Zoro and his own effect 8 swinging to a Whitebeard's pretty good. It means they have to commit more than 1 card out of hand, unless they're just gonna go and burn their event counters and stuff. So there were a couple times where I would like play Buggy, go search 1, have the Dawn under Zoro, swing, kill off the Buggy I just searched, or if I already had like Buggy on the field, swing over one of their little guys, swing with him, pop off the Buggy, and being able to draw a card, get the extra 1,000. Same with the Curly Dawn as well. Only 2. Didn't feel like you needed more than 2. Like the 2 is fine. Like so, Ninebeard is also really good as well. If you guys wanted to play Ninebeard. So up next, I was playing 4 copies of Marco. I did borrow 3 of them for the event. My other 3 are coming in the mail. They just haven't arrived yet. But I'm thankful that one of our local guys was able to let me borrow them, because it did want to be my final round against Ace. It's just the opponent couldn't clear the Marco, and he needed to be able to clear the Marco to secure the win. And I just kept bringing him back, and he just couldn't get rid of him, and he didn't really have enough gas in hand to go through another attack of Leader and Marco. So like I said earlier, with the 4-drop Marco, these are like 2 of the best cards within the current format, just because they're so sticky. It's hard to really get rid of them. Yellow Kakari can bounce these, get them out onto the life, usually bottom deck it on the life, just so they're out of the way, because these cards are so, like I said, they're just so sticky, and you don't really want to deal with them. Both really good cards. Like I mentioned earlier, coming with Otama and Gordon, being able to reduce stuff, play with Marco, snipe it, really good. So that's kind of wrap up our characters. Wasn't playing any Rush Wars, wasn't playing any Rush Luffy's. Both really good cards still. I don't know. Like I said, you could cut like the Whitebeard, or might be not Whitebeard, but the Blackbeard for Whitebeard, or if you want to play like 2 Rush Zoros instead, or 2 Rush Luffy's, completely understand. Cards are good. Just the Blackbeard I thought was going to be better into the Whitebeard matchup, which I didn't play any today. I don't even know if there were any today, because I almost played Whitebeard. So up next for events, got 3 copies of Guard Point. I know my numbers on these are going to look a little ugly, so I got 3 copies of Guard Point and 3 copies of Radical Beam. The only reason I'm playing 3 Radical Beam, to be completely honest with you guys, I only own 3. And like, I don't want to order like a 10-cent card and have to pay like $1 shipping. So that's why the rest of the numbers on them are kind of ugly, just because I only have 3 Rad Beam. Even though this card is crazy, dude. Get down to the undershoot life. 1 + 4. Going 3 Whitebeard Pirates. Once again, standard. Just being able to go Ezo into Whitebeard Pirates and Ezo in the search. You just put multiple bodies on the board and You can hopefully get markers out of it. And this can be discarded off of both markers to be revived because it's both a Whitebeard, Pirates card, and an event card. So, pretty solid. And this card is honestly like absolutely insane. Fire Fist, crazy card, dude. Either being able to pitch a copy of Whitebeard Pirates, or like if you got a extra guard point. I never wanted to discard reticle beams off this. You can discard extra copies itself, but just being able to like clear off blockers or against law. So I did play against law round 1. Just being able to turn 2 turns in a row, being able to hit him with Fire Fist, and then Marco, and it's really hard for them to maintain hand advantage because they're dumping a lot on the field every turn, and it's really hard for them to maintain board, maintain hand whenever you just Fire Fist away 2 every single turn. And yeah, once again, we did get this beautiful Luffy. So my first round, I did play against Law. Like I said, Fire Fist, Marco, crazy. Round 2 did play against Kinemon, and honestly, that was the only match I had today where I was like, I generally might lose this. They just kept tapping down on my stuff, and it's kind of hard to establish support when your stuff keeps getting tapped down. And then 8-drop Odin came down, and he can unsuspend himself and be swinging, and it's fairly scary. But combination of like Otama's and Gordon being able to reduce him while he's tapped, and finally being able to swing over him, maintain board state, go for game. Eventually, it was very close. Actually, I won because I had the buggy gun field, and I drew a Makino for turn, and we were very close on time too. So I like played Makino, tapped it, give him the +3, and I also had the one under the Zoro. So he was swinging 7 with nothing committed to him, and just being able to like demand multiple cards out of hand with one swing from a buggy was insane. Round 3 was mirror, nothing crazy in the mirror. We just kept clearing all this stuff. Once again, Fire Fist and Ace MVPs against most matchups, GBH. And then I played Ace in the finals. Really good game, really good back and forth, but like I said, the opponent just couldn't clear the Marco, and that really secured me the game. He couldn't handle 2 big attackers, and he was low on hand advantage anyway. So yeah, that was my Zoro OP03 deck list. Once again, did win the store championship. Luffy, absolutely gorgeous card. He is matching his Super Pre-Release winner, Luffy, right over here. Once again, guys, I am Noah from the DigiBros. If you like this One Piece card game content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, comment down below. Red Best deck, baby. You already know this. I'll see you guys later.